Morning, Coach. You were saying after the Chiefs game that you got to pass the ball a little better. I was wondering if among the issues there it just looks like Russ has been hesitant to pull the trigger. Is that what you see, or what are some of the issues in the passing game the last couple of weeks?
Well, look, it's been a handful. It's hard to point to one specifically. You want to have confidence in the pocket. We need to find ways to get guys open. And typically speaking, that has to happen efficiently on early downs. It can't be just on third down. So that's one of the things that we've discussed here, early today, and looking at our pass list and drive starters, and making sure that we find a way. Obviously, on first down, you're going to be mixed runner pass with your sequencing, but the feeling after that game was just simply, we've got to be able to throw it better to win in this league, and that wasn't directed at any one player. That was directed at all of us on offense.
Go ahead, Parker.
Yeah, Sean, obviously Greg Dulcich has had the sort of recurring hamstring issues. I guess, one, where is he at? And two, did you bring him back too quickly to have him, have another issue pop up that fast in the game?
Yeah, I mean, look, we went through the protocols and really we felt like we were pretty patient, and you rely on the athlete, you rely on the medical team and the experts, and then you go through the recovery and the rehab, and you spend a lot of time really testing before you ever go out into game conditions. So, look, it's easy to look back on that and say, hey, was it too soon? But all the information we had and the information, the feedback, and I think, he felt confident. We regroup with him right now and get him quickly up to speed, recovered, and we go from there. But it's unfortunate because I know he's frustrated. It's been a reoccurring issue for him, specifically the hamstrings.
Go ahead, Troy.
Coach, with Jeudy, he's had some, frustration. He hasn't scored a touchdown, but he's had dust-ups, whether it was with Steve Smith or social media. Is there anything you need to address with Jeudy as you're moving forward in terms of getting him kind of to be the player that we saw those last 5 games of last season?
Yeah, look, he's frustrated, I'm sure. He's a talented player. We need to continue to look for ways to get him throws, not only in the slot, but outside. The other stuff, look, I don't try to keep track of, and as long as it's not a distraction to what we're doing as a team. But that being said, he's very competitive. He's smart, and so he's a playmaker for us, and we got to continue to look for ways to put him in positions to make plays.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Sean, on Marvin Mims Jr. so far, over the last 6 weeks, what progress have you seen him make? And then going forward, what are the areas that he needs to improve the most in to go to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's doing well. And I say that, we're faced with the challenge sometimes of trying to find that balance with Sutton, Jeudy, Mims, the guys that we feel like can make plays in space. But he's on track. We're confident in how he's handling the return duties, but also his ability to make plays for us in the passing game, and trying to find that balance. We've had packages where both he and Jeudy are on the field at the same time, opposite one another. Again, that's still a work in progress, but I don't think it's a work in progress specifically towards Marvin as much as it is for us finding packages and touches for him, both in the passing game, and also he's someone that can handle the speed sweeps, the arounds, those type of things. He's really good with the ball in his hands.
Go ahead, Eric.
Coach, Javonte had the 18-yarder. How much have you seen him make strides here over the last few weeks? Is he looking closer to you to what he looked like pre-injury?
I think so. I mean, I know there's a confidence level he has in his knee, and he feels that strength. And you know, the experts will tell you it continues to get stronger even in year 2, and then finally, somewhere after 2 years, it's at that point where I don't want to say it's 100%, but certainly, you know, we're pleased with his progress and the way he's running.
Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Coach, now that it's official, can you just talk about why the team decided to move on from Frank Clark a couple games into the season?
Yeah, look, I think it was kind of a win-win for both sides. I mean, look, Frank was frustrated with the snaps or lack thereof, and you know, we brought him in hoping that we could get more from him. In fairness to Frank, you know, I don't think he ever felt like he was getting enough in a row to play well, and yet some of the other younger guys were earning those spots. So, you know, it was difficult. It was a difficult decision, and we just felt it was in the best interest of the club.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, Sean, with where your record is, and then you see undefeated teams go down, and the Bills are on the ropes for the Giants, does that make it easier to kind of narrow the focus to week and not get into the way, you know, the rest of the season may play out? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I think there's truth to that. I mean, look, you know, the focus obviously is on the next week, and you hear it around the league, and you know, there were things I was very encouraged with last Thursday. I was discouraged or disappointed we didn't win, but I was very encouraged on the effort and energy we played with. You know, we have a chance now to play 2 games at home. We haven't played well at home, or we haven't finished at home. And so the focus really is right in front of you. And the focus is really internally. It's your team more than the opponent, even, if you will. So that's kind of where we're at right now as we get ready for Green Bay.
Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, Coach, obviously losing K'Wan Williams, not having him available this season so far has been tough at the nickel. But what have you seen from Jaquin McMillan in the last 3 weeks of him stepping up there?
Yeah, look, I think overall the secondary, you know, did a lot of things well, specifically in Kansas City. You know, we talked about the red zone defense. He's someone that has good instincts. You know, he's got a feel for what we're doing and knows what to do. And so therefore you see him play fast. That experience, I think, helps him. He's got very good feet. He's quick. You know, I think in the tighter quarters he excels because he does have such short area quickness.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Coach. You guys have allowed one red zone touchdown on 10 attempts in the last 2 games. I was just wondering, like, what do you think the defense is doing so well in the red zone that's been working?
Well, I think, number one, they're trusting the technique within the framework of their scheme. We're gradually getting a little healthier. Obviously, it's great to have Justin back on the field. And I would say more than anything, it's understanding what you're doing and then trusting your assignment and doing your specific job. Part of good red zone defense also, you know, leans on being good against the run. And so I think in those areas, third down, you know, we talked about that being the 4-point play, getting off the field, you know, all of those things I would say in those 10 attempts or those 10 trips.
Go ahead, Darren.
Coach, unfortunately, the trade deadline kind of forces your hand, besides looking to things week to week. If there is a rebuild in process or has to happen, how important is it to have your mind wrapped around what you need to do by the time that trade deadline comes in just a couple of weeks?
Yeah, look, again, the focus is on the schedule and winning the next week. Certainly every year when this time comes, there's speculation and people call and people call teams that aren't playing well or are struggling to see if they're interested in moving players. But that would be the only thing. It doesn't require a 4-day summit relative to what the plan is. You know, George would bring any information to Greg, myself. But right now, our focus is on playing Green Bay.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, hey Sean, a general question about the defense. Why do you think the defense took a pretty good step forward against the Chiefs, and what leads you to believe that can continue moving forward?
Yeah, listen, fair question. It was significant, and it was significant against one of the better offenses we've seen. So I think it starts with the running game. I think when you can defend the running game and have success, then obviously your distances change. But when you're struggling in that area, the play action, all the other things that come off of it become much more challenging. You're dealing with the second and shorts, second and mediums. So the first thing I would point to specifically last week would be our ability to handle the running game.
Coach, that's all the questions we have in the queue for today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.